ways. 3 rushing, 1 receiving, 1 as a kick returner, and a pick 6 on defense. I'm not sure that I've heard of a game like that. What were the next few days like after that game?
After that, I knew that I could do something special on the football field. I mean, I was breaking records left and right. People were telling me that I had a good chance at playing at the next level. So it was just well, how can I do that? What does it take? And as you can see from that game, I was willing to do anything, return the kicks, play defense, and honestly, score the ball in whatever fashion.
When it came time to pick a college, you decided to stay in the state of Michigan and play at Michigan State. What appealed to you about going to East Lansing?
Well, I wanted to be away from home, but not as far, so my people could come still to the game. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, me and Mark D'Antonio had a really good relationship outside of just football. We talked a lot. He was always in my ear. As the process went on, he was very thorough with communicating. As you can see, he came to the basketball game. So he was more interested in me as a person than so much as a football player. And from then on, me and him built a relationship. And then when the time was time, it's kind of a easy decision.
You spent 5 years at Michigan State and earned your degree, but because of the COVID rules, you had an extra year of eligibility and decided to spend it last year at Oklahoma State. Why did you want to play for the Cowboys?
First and foremost, just the lineage and the history. Coach Gundy has a great team and has a great process over there. He knows how to win games and get things rolling. They've always had a good running game. So for me, it was just betting on myself and also going somewhere that could also better me as a football player and as a running back. With the running back over there, they do everything. They run, block, catch, and even motion them out. So just added more to my game and knowing that they had the skills and the coaching that could do that, that's really what I wanted to do going to Oklahoma State.
One of your teammates last year was Ollie Gordon, who led the nation in rushing. When you were at Michigan State, one of your teammates was Kenneth Walker, who was second in the nation in rushing. So you were teammates with guys that had phenomenal years, and I'm sure you were thrilled for them. But when you're a running back on the same roster, that means fewer carries for you. Was that tough?
I wouldn't even say it was tough. It was just the best way to learn because, you got to understand that there's other great players out there. You're not the only one. Mm-hmm. So it's just learning from other guys, watching them go out there and the way they practice, the way they compete, and just taking what I can from them, given that both of them, both Ken and Ollie, both younger than me, but seeing how they practice and approach the game from a different viewpoint allowed me to change and add things to my game that ultimately led me here. And honestly, going to lead Ollie to the NFL and, Ken to continue to do great things with the Seahawks because, watching and competing with both of them, those are 2 of my brothers. I can go talk to them both right now, and it's just we always sharpened each other. We always competed. We always supported one another. So it was just I was just happy for my brothers, both of them, honestly, because without that, I might not have learned or it might have been different for me, telling. So it's just I'm actually very happy for both of my brothers in those situations because it's just, if it's not me, I definitely wanted to beat them.
We're visiting with running back Elijah Collins. You were a game captain last year when Oklahoma State played Oklahoma, the final game of the famous Bedlam rivalry, at least for now. Oklahoma State won. Fans charged the field. They ripped down a goalpost. Did you stay out there for the celebration, or did you hustle to the locker room for safety?
So, honestly, the fans got to me before I could even move. So, the game was over. We stormed the field, but, as it was happening, I'm looking across the field, and I look back, it's a wall of fans. I'm like, So the fans kind of got the jump on me. I missed all of this. I'm sitting there looking for my girlfriend at the time, who was still my girlfriend today. And we ended up finding each other by the grace of God, if I'm being honest. And that's probably one of the biggest and best moments of my life, really being because, I know how important rivalry games are. Coming from a different conference and trying to, get adjusted to that. And it also being the last Bedlam, it was a lot of hype surrounding the game. And before the game, people were talking online and everything, but I don't do too much talking. It's just all about play, and we went out there and did that. As a team, we won the last Bedlam.
You signed with the Bengals as a college free agent right after the draft. What appealed about Cincinnati?
Cincinnati was the same way, just like Oklahoma State. They can do everything with the back. Sort of fits my play style, kind of the schemes that we do. We get the back outside, we get the back to the receiver position, we get the back one-on-one. pick up and pass pro, running downhill, and the schemes are sort of similar. So everything is kind of It sounds the same, but it's called something different. So for me, it's just adjusting with just, I guess, the NFL level, NFL skill and the speed of the game. But, I mean, the Bengals were probably just my best option, genuinely speaking. I mean, they had interest in me, and the interest was mutual. So,
a few wild card topics now for running back Elijah Collins. Who is your all-time favorite athlete in any sport?
That's tough. I mean, growing up playing a lot of basketball, it probably would be Kobe Bryant, genuinely, because his mentality. I admired that a lot about him, his day in, day out work mentality. And it's like, well, I'm going to work while you sleep. And I kind of live by that sort of now to this day, like that mama mentality where it's just like, no matter what day it is, I'm going to put my best foot forward and really chop as hard as I can, because, I mean, you never know when it might be your last day at practice or your last game or your last scrimmage. So it's just like giving it your all the time and whatever time that you got, so that, I mean, number one, you're prepared, and number two, that, I mean, like, like I said, you don't got to get ready. You're always prepared. That's just probably my biggest thing.
Do you have any hidden talents?
I grew up playing the violin, so, like, I haven't played the violin in a long time, but, like, I always want to get back to it. But as you can see, I'm doing other things, playing football. But playing the violin is probably my most hidden talent. I don't really tell too many people that, or people don't really know that about me.
Final fun fact for Elijah Collins. This one's kind of deep. If you could meet anybody in history, living or deceased, who would that person be?
It had to be the one and only Jesus Christ. Reason being is just, I really wouldn't have any questions. I just wanted to, like, I mean, just see him, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. I know that I'm, covered in his blood and everything, but it's just like seeing him definitely would have made, like, I don't know, I guess more of an impact, not only on me, but people around me, because then it's like, well, now that I've seen him now, it's something that's kind of like concrete that I can, like, walk off of. And I read about him every single day, but it's just like, it would have been just that much more seeing him, if that makes sense.
It absolutely does. And you're off the hot seat. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much, and best of luck going forward.
Thank you. I appreciate everything. Appreciate this interview and getting to, speak to you as well. It's a pleasure.
All right, that's Dan Hoare with Elijah Collins. What a great way to end an interview by that young man. Very gracious, appreciative, and you just listen to him. He has just a forward focus about his life, his goals, and everything else. We certainly wish him all the best. And from basketball to football, he's still chasing goals, and making the Bengal team is next in the long line of those goals that he wants to accomplish. Having two former teammates in the league also gives him that sounding board he needs to figure out what he needs to do, not only to get to this level, but stay here. Coming up next is the Athletics' Paul Dana Jr. as the countdown to kickoff continues right here on the First Star Logistics Bengals Radio Network.
Get ready for game day with Mixicals, Botanical Ice Mixers, proud partner of the Cincinnati Bengals. Harnessing the essence of fruits, flowers, and herbs, Mixicals takes your drinks from the sidelines to the end zone. Whether it's cocktails or mocktails, elevate your beverage game to MVP status with Mixicals. Available at the Party Source and other Cincinnati area retailers, or online at Mixicals.com. That's Mixicles. Mixicals, proud partner of the Cincinnati Bengals.
Bengals fans, the jungle awaits. Now's the time to join the Bengals season ticket wait list.
Claim your place on the wait list for just $150 per seat. You'll get first priority to purchase Bengals season tickets when they become available. Plus, get first access to single game tickets and playoff tickets while supplies last.
Some things are worth the wait. Join the season ticket wait list today and rule the jungle with us. Visit Bengals.com or call the Bengals ticket hotline at 513-621-8383.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore a seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Behind every successful business is a strong leader. That's why the Cincinnati Bengals leave HR to Paycor. Paycor's HR software helps build winning teams and great places to work. We're pumped to watch Bengals history unfold at Paycor Stadium. Find out how Paycor can help your business at Paycor.com.
Covering the Bengals from the inside out with the Dana Report. Here's the Athletics' Paul Dana Jr.
Welcome back to Countdown to Kickoff, presented by Kickstand Cocktails, right here on the Bengals Radio Network. 17 minutes left before preseason game number 3, and he covers the Bengals for the Athletic. Paul Dana Jr., what a beautiful night for football.
It's an awesome night. It's a great night to be out here and wrap this preseason up. That's the best part. Let's wrap it up.
No question about it. Let's talk about the training camp. Everybody talked about Joe Burrow, said how good he looked. Focused, to me, had the focus face like he's on a mission, but a lot of people talked about how he put some zip on the ball. The ball looks good, tight. Yeah. What was your favorite?
You know what? I felt like we saw him make every throw over the course of camp that you would want to see him make if you're looking at, okay, how's he look? Is he throwing the deep ball? Is he throwing that intermediate? Is he doing this? Anything you would want to see, I think you saw it this camp. There is one that stood out to me, though, and it came in the Colts joint practice, and it was a ball to, about 15, 20 yards outside the numbers. T. Higgins was absolutely blanketed, and it wasn't the one that's kind of gone around of T. Higgins pulling a dime off the top of the backboard, which was unbelievable. It was to the other side, and the ball required a little extra juice to get it there, and it came on a rope in the tightest of windows, right on the spot. And it's like, I feel like that's the kind of throw you're so used to Joe Burrow making, and you're wondering, get that full power with all the RPMs, and when you need to rear back in a competitive session, be able to do it. He did that in a number of different ways, but that one really stood out to me. It's one of those that's a really hard throw to make. You got to really be on top of your game, and it was kind of a mid-season Burrow form throw. It really left me impressed, and it was kind of that last big check on the box. That guy's ready to play.
Well, my favorite throw was in Buffalo when he did a pirouette and somebody did a slow motion.
Well, yeah. Now, I mean, if we're going to get cinematic about it, I mean, let's go.
Speaking of that, the storyline of camp, many people may not know about.
I don't know if they don't know about it, but I feel like we've spent so much time talking about the offense, whether it be what's happening with Jamar Chase or T. Higgins, who has looked incredible, or Burrow and everything that's been going on with him. Everybody's watching him closely. And and Amarius Mims. All of these big storylines have been on the offensive side of the ball. Quietly, the defense was the storyline of camp. I thought they looked much closer to back to the form that you saw before last year. They had all those issues with the communication issues and all the explosive plays. They have this attitude when you talk to them. They're still mad about last year. Yeah. They're still really embarrassed by it. And these are prideful guys that you have really felt them come into this camp with that sort of chip on their shoulder to prove that last year was an aberration and not the new norm for them. And it has looked that way. And anybody you talk to, coaches on offense, players on offense, or anybody on defense, has noticed. You feel the difference in this defense this year. Quietly, I think that was the storyline of camp.
One thing about the defense that I noticed as a microcosm of that was how quickly Von Bell and Geno Snow clicked.
Von Bell is such a difference maker, and just the way he is as an elite communicator, it changes things for not just the linebackers in front of them, who had to sometimes be looking behind them last year to be like, what's the call? Even things like run fits in the defensive line of being able, he talked to me about being able to just quickly yell to Jermaine Pratt, leave a gap for me, because he knows he can go and fit a run in case they do that, or he's anticipating that. He's anticipating when they're going to take a shot, or what the way to beat the coverage they're adjusting to is in. So he's trying to go there if he thinks the offense coordinator started to have the best of them. Yeah. That's just that advanced chest level stuff that you're just not going to get with young safeties. And when you have that back there, you see it and let everybody else play confidently, and that's been noticeable out there.
Yeah, he and Gino were talking one day, and it was almost as if they'd been together 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Lastly, let's talk about the dynamics of cut down day. It's just crazy time.
Well, the rules are always changing, right? Like, it seems there's always something new, and there's one little small difference this year is that in the past you would maybe have to pull a player through the cut and cut somebody else off the 53-man roster in order to have them come back the next day to use the IR return function. Now you can do it for 2 guys before the cut goes down. And they have some interesting decisions to make, specifically in the defensive line room. We've got the injury to Miles Murphy. We've got the injury to McKinley Jackson. If they decide they want to IR return them, they can do that with the original cut on Tuesday if they want to. Or they can decide they think that they'll come back in enough time that the 4-week span that IR return is not worth it. They can keep them. There's some interesting decisions there, and they'll kind of potentially be using that new mechanism when they decide how they're going to go through cut down day on Tuesday.
Paul Jennings Jr., always appreciate you, brother.
Thank
you so much. All right, up next, it's the Cincinnati Bengals and Indianapolis Colts in the final preseason game. Dan Hoard and Dave Lapham have the call up next, right here on the First Star Logistics Bengals Radio Network.
Shop the Bengals Pro Shop for the very best selection of Bengals gear. Choose from Nike sideline tees, polos, and new era caps. Look for your favorite player's jersey in men's, women's, and youth black or white. Want a football or bobblehead? We've got that too. Open 7 days a week. Located at Paycor Stadium Plaza level, North End Zone. Can't stop by? Then shop online at www.bengals.com/pro shop.
Looking to do some good this summer while eating some good pizza? Well, Donato's is partnering with the Sam Hubbard Foundation to do just that. All you have to do is bring an item for Hubbard's Cupboards and get a free medium 1-topping pizza. Head to Donato Cincy on social media for more.
It's Toyota's national sales event with more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else, including Toyota's lineup of go-anywhere, do-anything trucks, like the powerful new Tundra. Now through September 3rd, you can get a new Tundra with low-rate financing, special leases, or customer cash up to $2,000, depending on model. And the 2024 Tacoma is now arriving at your Toyota dealer with dominating power, legendary capability, and captivating style. Get details at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Hi, Bengals fans. Dan Hoard here. It's important to work with local companies you feel comfortable with. That's why professional contractors rely on Win Supply, Win Nelson, and Win Electric locations right here in the Tri-State. Locally owned and operated, Win Supply offers products from leading brands like A.O. Smith water heaters, Nibco valves, and Odie Solvent to get the job done right. Order online at winsupply.com or any of our several Win Supply locations in Greater Cincinnati. The Win Supply family of companies are proud supporters of your Cincinnati Bengals.
This is the First Star Logistics Bengals Radio Network. Bengals football is brought to you by Paycor, proud to be the official HR software provider of the Cincinnati Bengals. Fifth Third Bank. Score big with Bengals banking. Visit 53.com to join the roster and earn exclusive perks. Paramount Plus. Watch your Bengals this season on the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount Plus.
In 17 days, the 2024 season gets underway here at Paycor Stadium as the Bengals host the New England Patriots. But first, it's the final game of the preseason between the Bengals and the Indianapolis Colts. And it is time for the pigskin to fly here in the jungle. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Dan Hoard alongside former Bengals offensive lineman Dave Lapham. It is great to have you with us for our coverage of Cincinnati Bengals football. And it's time for Lap's keys to owning the game. They are powered by Gravity Plus.
Well, Dan, first and foremost, avoid injury. Suffered enough. Cam Sample, Achilles injury, out for the year. Chris Evans, torn patella tendon, out for the year. Deontay Smith, torn patella tendon, out for the year. Miles Murphy suffered a knee injury. He's out 4 to 6 weeks. Enough. No more. Then clean it up. In 2 games, 4 giveaways, only 1 takeaway. -3. Not good. 19 penalties, 184 yards. The opponent penalized 7 times for 70. -12 penalties, -114 yards given up over a football field of penalty yardage in 2 football games. Can't have it. Cool, calm, collected, and confident. That's what the players have to be tonight. They're trying to earn the final jobs on the roster. You got to think clearly. Avoid mental errors. Play decisively. It's your last chance to make a positive final impression. You want favorable tape for all 32 teams to evaluate. Tuesday, 1,200 players will be available. Just 500 will make practice squads. 700 will be heartbroken. And then there's going to be roster fluids movement from there as well. Still not safe. Roster tweaks will continue for a few days. And then finally, you got to show your position coach diversity, versatility, and flexibility. Jackson Kirkland plays right tackle for the first time ever, so in a game. And tonight, he's ascending. there's other players have to prove to Darren Simmons they can fill multiple roles on special teams. It's all about enhancing your value. First thing you have to do is make the 53-man roster, and guys will be battling to do it tonight. And then if they don't make that, get recalled for the 16-man practice squad.
The Bengals starters are not going to play tonight, but it's a very different story for Shane Steichen's Indianapolis Colts. Their starters are expected to play up to a half. It might be a quarter and a half, but they've got a very inexperienced quarterback, Anthony Richardson. He was really only a one-year starter at the University of Florida. Got injured as a rookie 4 games into the season last year, and he's only thrown 4 passes this preseason. They want him to get some work tonight.
140 snaps since high school. 17 games he's participated in since high school, collegiate and professionally. I mean, that's unbelievable when you think about it. He almost doesn't know what he doesn't know, and when you watch him, he's apprehensive as a result of that. He is not in any kind of a rhythm yet where he's getting the ball out of his hand really quickly and deciphering things, making quick decisions. He's still having a tough time processing, in my mind, a little bit. One thing he can do, though, 6'4", 260 pounds, he can run, and he's still got some juice. I mean, he's got short space quickness, he's got long speed. He is a gifted athlete, there's no question.
The Colts have been searching for a starting quarterback since Andrew Luck retired prior to the 2019 season. They have had a different opening day starter each of the last 5 years. Now, they're going to have the same starter, we would assume, this year, assuming that nothing happens to Anthony Richardson between now and the season opener for the Indianapolis Colts. But Jacoby Brissett, Phillip Rivers, Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan, Anthony Richardson, the search has been difficult since that retirement by Andrew Luck.
No doubt, Dan, and as a result, no AFC South titles since 2014. Only one playoff win since 2014. 2020 is the last time they made the playoffs. So, I mean, the natives are restless. You know, they got spoiled when Peyton Manning was there. I mean, when Peyton Manning was there, the bar was extremely high. 7 division titles in 10 years, won a Super Bowl, and went to and lost another one. They're not sniffing that right now, and they want to get back there.
It is a magnificent night for football here in downtown Cincinnati. The current temperature, 73 degrees. No clouds above, no chance of rain, no wind. The flags are limp against the goalpost tonight. Could not be more comfortable, whether you're hanging out and watching football here at Paycor Stadium or folks right up the street getting ready for the Green Day concert at Great American Ballpark.
It is, Dan. It's can't ask for a better situation. There's really no humidity. I mean, you don't have moisture hanging on you. It's a perfect night for football.
We'll take a timeout. We'll be back with the start of tonight's game in just a moment on the First Star Logistics Bengals Radio Network.
I'm Zach Taylor, head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals. We need all of you to be your best for another amazing season. And since cancer is the second leading cause of death for adults in the U.S., prevention and early detection are key. So join me and the Cincinnati Bengals as we team up with Kettering Health to fight cancer in its earliest stages. Go to ketteringhealth.org/crucial catch and let's intercept cancer together.
2 hours ago, Kyle arrived at the bar.
Hey, what's everyone drinking?
30 minutes ago, Kyle got his friends another round of drinks.
Cheers!
5 minutes ago, Kyle decided to drive home drunk. A minute ago, a law enforcement officer pulled up behind Kyle.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
A chain of events that began 2 hours ago is about to change Kyle's whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Skyline's now the official chili of the Cincinnati Bengals. And that has fans celebrating all over town. There's no better way to celebrate a Bengals win than Skyline Chili. Stop by your neighborhood Skyline on game day and Coney up, Bengals Nation. It's Skyline time.
Shop the Bengals Pro Shop for the very best selection of Bengals gear. Choose from Nike sideline tees, polos, and new era caps. Look for your favorite player's jersey in men's, women's, and youth black or white. Want a football or bobblehead? We've got that too. Open 7 days a week. Located at Paycor Stadium Plaza level, North End Zone. Can't stop by? Then shop online at www.bengals.com/pro shop.
Tuning in here on the First Star Logistics Bengals Radio Network. In 2.5 weeks, we'll be back for the regular season opener against the Patriots. And the Bengals are kicking off a new tradition, celebrating the return of football, open in orange. Fans are encouraged to wear orange as the team debuts all orange uniforms at that home opener Sunday, September 8th at 1 o'clock. Again, the Bengals against the Patriots. Visit Bengals.com/open in orange for more info.
This is the coin we'll be using today. It's heads, tails, heads. Indianapolis, what is your decision? Heads is called. It is heads. Indianapolis won the coin toss, has elected to further options to the second half. You want to receive? Which way do you want to kick? All right, very good. Start the first half. Cincinnati will be receiving.
So the Colts won the coin toss, and the person who correctly said heads was a former UC Bearcat, Alec Pierce, the great wide receiver on the 2021 Final Four team, one of 9 Bearcats drafted that year.
Wow.
After that incredible run by Luke Fickell's Bearcats.
Incredible. He is a tremendous route runner. I mean, he is a precise route runner. There's no question. And opening kickoff shortly underway here, and it's, as always, it's presented by Alta Fiber.
Our rulers of the jungle tonight here at Paycor Stadium. A couple of Olympians this year in Paris for Team USA. Volleyball player named Max Holt, helping the U.S. win a medal in that event. And a coxswain in the rowing competition, Nina Castagna, out of Walnut Hills High School.
A couple of young coaches, Shane Steichen and Zach Taylor, going at it, Dan, and they're pretty good friends. So it should be an interesting evening. It's going to be great work for the number 2s and number 3s of the Cincinnati Bengals, getting after initially the number 1s, like you described, Dan, for at least a quarter and a half, maybe 2 full quarters, probably depending on how effective they are.
So the Colts won the toss and deferred. The Bengals are going to get the ball first. And it's interesting to see Charlie Jones go back to return the opening kickoff along with Travion Williams. Obviously, the Bengals feel good about Charlie's knee, the one that he bumped into a teammate a couple of weeks ago, and he'll get at least a few snaps in this final preseason game.
Yeah, they want to take a good look at him, not only as a wide receiver, but also as a return guy. I mean, he's filled that role for them pretty admirably, and want him to get some reps in that regard.
Spencer Schrader will do the kicking for the Indianapolis Colts, at least to begin the game. He is probably not going to be their kicker this year. They still have Matt Gay, but Spencer Schrader, who spent last year at Notre Dame, is on the roster right now, and he will handle the opening kickoff for the Indianapolis Colts. The Bengals in white tonight. White jerseys, white pants, black stripes down the side, and the iconic orange tiger striped helmet. The kick is launched outside the numerals, far side of the field, fielded around the 5 by Charlie Jones. Blows up the sideline, past the 30, past the 40, all the way to the 50, and the kicker had to make the stop. A 49-yard sprint by Chuck Sizzle.
And boy, Chuck Sizzle was sizzling, man, and he hit it north and south in a heartbeat. And this is what they wanted to see. They wanted to see Charlie Jones give this kind of effort. Excellent blocking, and you know what? No flags. Last week, 4 flags on special teams. Clean on this snap.
The ball is spotted at the 48 of Indianapolis, so the Bengals' opening drive begins in Colts territory. Logan Woodside is the quarterback. He hands it off to Travion Williams, running right, and he gets pulled down by the legs at the 45. A 3-yard pickup on the play. Strong safety Julian Blackman bringing him down.
Eric All went in motion as a tight end across the formation, changed the strength of the formation, and tried to get one more blocker at the point of attack than the Colts had defenders. They did a pretty good job of stringing it out. Marginal gain.
44, Aggie.
Jermaine Burton in the lineup early tonight. That's a little different from the previous 2 preseason games. He's out wide to the left. Logan Woodside back to throw. His screen pass caught behind the line of scrimmage by Travion Williams, and he's going to lose a couple of yards. He's tackled at the Colts 48 by nose guard Grover Stewart.
Well, that was just good hustle by Stewart. That was excellent recognition, and he got out there in a hurry to get that. He got down that line of scrimmage. The Bengals have been working in the joint practice. They ran screens to the running back, screens to the tight end, screens to the wide receivers. They're really working on that screen game.
Tanner Hudson checks in at tight end. He's one of 3 receivers out to the right. Jermaine Burton out to the left. Logan Woodside in the gun. 9 defenders up near the line. Now 3 of them back up for Indianapolis. Woodside back to throw against a 4-man rush. And he's sacked in Bengals territory at the 43-yard line. DeForest Buckner, the great, gigantic defensive tackle, getting to Logan Woodside.
I'll tell you, boy, he walked by me at practice, and I'm like, this guy, 6'7", about 300 pounds, and man, single blocking right there, and he just overpowered Hill. He got an edge on Trey Hill right away. He got the outside shoulder. Trey Hill just kind of turned his shoulder pads to the sideline and gave an easy lane for Buckner to get the sack.
Ryan Rico into punt. Rookie Anthony Gould waiting at the 10. He moves forward. He was faking that he might catch it, and the ball flies into the end zone for a touchback. Launched a long way by Ryan Rico, but it'll come out to the 20-yard line for the Indianapolis Colts.
And here comes Richardson, all 6'4", 260 pounds of him. It is unbelievable. His legs, I'm not kidding you. I was standing by Coach Duffner when he came walking out in the field, and I said, Duff, this guy looks like he could be an edge rush outside linebacker type guy. And he's like, I agree.
Jonathan Taylor starts the game at running back. Taylor has only carried a couple of times in the preseason. Former NFL rushing champ back in 2021 when he ran for more than 1,800 yards. They fake it to him. Richardson guns it over the middle, and it's an excellent throw that's caught by Alec Pierce, the former Bearcat, for a first down out to the 38-yard line. 18 yards on the play. Alan George with a stop.
Pretty good protection. Taylor's going to be involved in any blitz pickup, any leakage there. He's his safety valve, his outlet, but he goes to Pierce over the middle of the field, and Pierce got a step on Alan George and took advantage of it.
Last week we saw Dax Hill and DJ Turner at corner early in the game. They are not playing tonight. Here's a delayed run up the middle for Taylor. He got grabbed by Cloth and eventually was tackled at the 42-yard line. Josh Newton with a stop, a 4-yard pickup for Jonathan Taylor.
Taylor last year led the National Football League 2.7 yards after contact per attempt. That was the best in the National Football League. He's not a guy that goes down with that first hit. You have to gang tackle him.
2 receivers out to the left, 1 out to the right. Richardson in the gun on 2nd and 6. Fakes a handoff to Taylor. Short pass, and it's going to be a loss on the play as Tufele read the screen to the tight end and brought down Kylan Granson for a 4-yard loss.
Well, Tufele said, hey, I watched Stewart do it. Stewart made a good read and got involved in taking down a screen, and he said, if he can do it, I can do it. A great read by Tufele. Got down the line of scrimmage in a heartbeat. Makes it a 3rd and long. Let's see if the Bengals defense can get off the field.
3rd down and 10. The Colts have it at their own 38 on their opening possession. The Bengals showing A-gap pressure. Richardson with a long count. Here comes a blitz. Quick pass, caught. Alec Pierce running up the seam, and he'll pick up a first down for the Indianapolis Colts. He makes it to the Cincinnati 49. Muma Jongmeta made the tackle, but Richardson read the blitz and got the ball out of his hand quickly.
Well, Muma was in the A-gap like you talked about, Dan, and he had coverage out there, and he's trying to get there. He's sprinting. He's involved in the underneath coverage, and just a good call against that blitz.
Now a quick pass, caught. Pittman with the catch, his first of the game, and it's going to be another first down for the Colts. Ran a little slant, made it down to the 37 before Alan George could bring him down.
They're on a little methodical drive right here, executing well. Steichen is basically his own play caller for the most part. There's He's got Jim Bob Cooter feeding him as well.
Here's a wide receiver screen out to the left. Adonai Mitchell, the rookie out of Texas, is very close to another Indianapolis first down. Shaka Hayward with the tackle. Adonai Mitchell wears the number 10 for a very specific reason. There were 10 wide receivers selected before him in this year's draft. He wants that to be a constant reminder. He was ticked off that 10 went before he did.
Chip on his shoulder as big as a 2x4, and now the Bengals defensive line is getting controlled right now by Quentin Nelson, a 6-time Pro Bowler, and Ryan Kelly, a 4-time Pro Bowler.
Ryan Kelly out of Lakota West High School in Cincinnati. 2nd down and 1, play action fake. Richardson with all day to throw, checks it down short, caught by Taylor, and he'll pick up a first down as he gets tackled at the Cincinnati 20-yard line.
Taylor was available immediately. You know, I was surprised that it took that long to get the football to him. You know, Richardson wanted to make sure, I guess, he went through his progression. That was the final read, the check down. But boy, Taylor was wide open.
Richardson has completed his first 6 passes for 66 yards. 1st and 10 at the Bengals 20. The Colts started this drive at their own 20. Shotgun snap to Richardson, inside handoff to Taylor, and he runs behind the guy you were talking about, Quentin Nelson, for a nice pickup. He's down to the 12 after an 8-yard gain.
And I still think that Quentin Nelson's run blocking is Pro Bowl level. Pass protection, he's had a little bit more difficulty with here recently, but man, this guy is a brute. He's a beast run blocking at the line of scrimmage. And Quentin Nelson and Kelly, when they double team you, man, that's a force to be reckoned with.
68 yards so far against the Bengals' 2nd and 3rd string defenders. The Colts have their starters in, and they are methodically marching down the field. It's 2nd and 2 at the 12-yard line. Richardson hands it off. Taylor stacked up near the line, and he did not get the first down. He picked up 1, but he stopped at the 11. It's 3rd down and 1.
Well, this drive has red zone snaps. Now you have a short yardage, 3rd and short in the red zone. They're on the cusp of the low red zone at the 11-yard line, so good snaps to learn from these young players.
Richardson a threat to run here on 3rd down and 1. He's in the gun. Taylor to his right, low snap. Richardson hands it off to Taylor, and with a body lean, he's got the first down. He picks up a couple to the Cincinnati 9. John Mehta, who is tied for the NFL lead in preseason tackles coming into the game, makes another one for Cincinnati.
And Richardson fulfilled his zone read, basically, obligation by faking outside run. I mean, he is capable of pulling that football out of the running back's belly and taking it to the perimeter, and he is the force when he does that.
Pittman and Pierce go out to the right, Mitchell out to the left. Richardson in the shotgun, Taylor off his left hip. 1st and goal for Indianapolis at the 9-yard line of Cincinnati. Richardson drops straight back to throw, fires to the left side of the end zone, and whistled it through the hands of his tight end. Incomplete. Pass was intended for Drew Ogletree, a young man from the Dayton area, and it's 2nd and goal from the 9.
Jordan Battle was in coverage, pretty good coverage, and Richardson just put it out there a little bit too far. And boy, he had some mustard on it, though. This guy does have a strong throwing arm. There's no question about it. And the pass protection afforded to Richardson by the offensive line has been pretty darn good.
3 receivers out to the right. Now Pittman motions to the left. 2nd and goal from the 9. Shotgun snap. Richardson looking left. Looks over the middle. Throws. Caught at the 6. Adonai Mitchell accelerates into the end zone for an Indianapolis touchdown.
Lost his helmet, but he secured the peg and crossed the goal line. So the rookie out of Texas gets himself an NFL touchdown, a little crossing route over the middle of the football field. And, they brought the slot corner on a blitz, and Newton comes on the blitz, and now the safety has to try to pick him up as he's crossing underneath, and it's man coverage underneath, and good speed, good route. A little bit too much for Dejon Anthony to handle.
Matt Gay in to attempt the 33-yard PAT. He's had some struggles in the preseason. He's 1 for 4 on field goal tries, but his extra point is good. And the Indianapolis Colts have a 7-0 lead on a 9-yard touchdown pass from Richardson to Mitchell. We'll take a timeout with 6:43 left in the first quarter here on the First Star Logistics Bengals Radio Network.
Visit Ralph's American Grill and indulge in a tender Mayflower ribeye. Enjoy a full menu with our homemade burgers, stacked sandwiches, seasoned steak, and pasta offerings. Don't forget to ask about Ralph's weekday soup and fresh salad bar, the best you'll find in Wilmington, Ohio. Let us host your special event in Ralph's Garage and start your celebration with one of Ralph's irresistible entrees. Make your reservations today on OpenTable or ralphsgrill.com.
At Toyota's National Sales Event, you can choose from more hybrid and all-wheel drive vehicles than anyone else, including the best-selling RAV4. Now through September 3rd, choose 4.99 APR financing on a new 2024 RAV4 or RAV4 Hybrid with approved credit through TFS. Excludes RAV4 Prime, or you can get a great lease deal on RAV4. Plus, you get 2 years no-cost maintenance. Get details at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Hi, Bengals fans. Dan Horde here. It's important to work with local companies you feel comfortable with. That's why professional contractors rely on Win Supply, Win Nelson, and Win Electric locations right here in the Tri-State. Locally owned and operated, Win Supply offers products from leading brands like Delta Faucet, Zoller Pumps, and Navian tankless water heaters to get the job done right. Order online at winsupply.com or any of our several Win Supply locations in Greater Cincinnati. The Win Supply family of companies are proud supporters of your Cincinnati Bengals.
Catch up on all the highlights and expert analysis with Dave Lapham and Lance McAllister on Bengals Line. Monday nights from 6 to 9. Visit Bengals.com/listen for more information.
Get an edge with Bengals Banking. Visit 53.com to learn more about our Fifth Third Better perks for Bengals fans like you.
7-0 Colts midway through the first quarter here on the First Star Logistics Bengals Radio Network. In the joint practice a couple of days ago, the Bengals starting defense gave Anthony Richardson fits, and they were doing a lot of trash talking while facing the second and third string defenders in the early going tonight. Richardson takes the Colts right down the field, 12 plays, 80 yards for a touchdown, and I'm sure that was very satisfying for him, even if he was not facing the guys that gave him trouble on Tuesday.
He was excited about that touchdown pass. I mean, he sprinted about, 50 yards, zigzagging behind the line of scrimmage. He was definitely thrilled about that touchdown pass.
Schrader kicks. It'll be fielded near the goal line. Drop. Now scooped up by Travion Williams. He's to the 15 and stumbles out to about the 22-yard line. So that's where the drive will begin after the bobble near the goal line by Travion Williams.
Man, that happened to Travion at practice. He fumbled a kickoff return and then he returned it and was frustrated with himself, slapped his hands about dropping a kickoff, and son of a gun, it doesn't happen in the game.
After the injury to Chris Evans, Travion probably does not have to worry about having a spot on the roster. No. But wouldn't be the least bit surprised if the Bengals are looking hard at the waiver wire after the final preseason games for a fourth running back, whether he's on the practice squad or the roster. First down handoff to Travion Williams, right up the gut, and nowhere to go. He might not have even made it back to the line of scrimmage. Running at DeForest Buckner is a hard thing to do.
It certainly is, and I agree with you. I don't think that Noah Kane or Elijah Collins are going to be the answer, practice squad wise even. I think there's going to be other people, other personnel involved at the running back position. They're not a factor in the special teams part of things evaluation wise, so they are going to be looking elsewhere if in fact they want to have that fourth running back.
Cincinnatians are always looking toward Denver to wonder if Samaje Perine might get let go by the Broncos. Second down and 10, shotgun snap. Woodside throws off his back foot, and it is intercepted at the 20-yard line. The Colts will take over in Bengals territory as Logan Woodside's pass was picked off by linebacker E.J. Speed. Man,
E.J. Speed he was like, thank you very much. Logan Woodside dropped down on that release point, and
now they're saying incomplete, Lap.
Okay. Because it does hit the ground. Yeah, he's picking it up off the ground. The ball is the football, the leather is definitely laying on the grass, on the turf, and he picks it up off there. He did a good job of saying, hey, I had my hands underneath it. I scooped that thing. I don't think they're going to challenge it. It's painfully obvious that it definitely was was off on the ground.
The Colts ran into the end zone. They did the big celebration. So they did the celebration as if it was going to count as a pick, but the officials have decided that the ball did hit the ground. The replay showed that, as Lapp pointed out. So it'll be 3rd down and 10 for Logan Woodside and the Bengals. And
Logan Woodside goes to the sideline and it gets an earful from Zach Taylor. It's like, be smarter. Don't try to make something out of nothing. If there's nothing there, don't put the ball in harm. Make sure you throw it away.
3rd and 10 Bengals at their own 20. 2 deep safeties for Indianapolis. Woodside ready. Catches the shotgun snap. Throws. It is caught at the 17. Travion Williams flying up the numerals. And he's going to pick up a first down out to the 32-yard line as the Bengals executed a 3rd down and 10 screen beautifully.
They did. Offensive linemen get out in front. And again, the screen game was definitely a point of emphasis in the joint practice. There's no question about that. Travion Williams did a good job of letting his linemen work. He set up some blocks, and he got north and south very, very effectively.
Matt Lee and Trey Hill getting out in front to lead that screen. The Bengals have a first down at their own 30. Hudson goes in motion. Play action fake. Here's another screen. Eric All has running room. There's a penalty flag behind the play. All picks up about 12, but it's coming back.
Yeah.
Roughing the passer. Roughing the passer.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense. Number 51. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
Cody Ford get out in front of that one. And Cody Ford playing the left tackle position. He gets out in front of that and gets down the football field. The screen pass to the tight end. So that's definitely, Pay definitely should have been penalized for that one, and he was, but timed it out well. Ford, 1,001, 1,002 releases, gets his kick out block, and they go to the tight end that time, Eric All. So the center, left guard, and left tackle in the last 2 screens have been effective.
10 yards on the play, 15 yards on the penalty. The Bengals are in Colts territory. Here's a wide run to the right between the hash marks and the numerals, and Travion Williams is stopped after a gain of 1 by Grover Stewart.
Just like last week's football game, Hill is playing left guard. Lee is the center. Lee played every snap in last week's football game, and he's going to get a lot of action tonight as well. Hill played left guard last week, and he's playing left guard again tonight. Gillum is the right guard, and then you've got at the right tackle position, you've got the big old number 60 will be working out there. Kirkland's going to get his opportunity to play some right tackle.
7-0 Indy, 4:11 left in the first quarter. The Bengals have it at the Colts 45-yard line. Shotgun snap, Woodside with a quick pass out to the left. It's caught by Jermaine Burton, spins away from one defender, but gets pulled down after a 1-yard gain. It'll be 3rd down and 9. Free safety Nick Cross coming up to tackle the rookie out of Alabama.
Charlie Jones could not quite get a block well enough for Burton to make somebody miss and get up the football field. One wide receiver blocking for another form of a screen as such. The Bengals are doing a lot of horizontal throwing of the football, that's for sure.
Burton out to the left, Charlie Jones and Shedrick Jackson out to the right. Tanner Hudson in the backfield along with Travion Williams. They're on either side of the QB. Woodside throwing deep for Jermaine Burton.
Oh!
Tried to make a one-handed catch at the 10-yard line and could not reel it in. Jalen Jones, the cornerback, running stride for stride with Jermaine Burton.
And Burton was trying to hold Jones off with one hand basically and make a catch with the other one. I mean, just nothing fair. He gets his hand up and underneath his face mask by the numbers. And then he moves it over to the shoulder pad, and he only had one hand left to work with to try to catch it and couldn't make the one-hand catch.
The Bengals will not attempt a 62-yard field goal at this early stage of the game. Rico will try to pin the Colts inside the 10. Gould gets out of the way again. It bounces at the 5, bounces backward and gets slowed down by Jordan Battle around the 9. And the Colts will start from inside their own 10. They'll be spotted at the 9-yard line. A 35-yard punt, well executed by Ryan Rico. We have a timeout, 3:11 left in the first quarter. The score, the Colts 7, the Bengals nothing. Here on the First Star Logistics Bengals Radio Network.
football fans, visit Mike Castrucci Ford in Milford or Mike Castrucci Ford Lincoln of Alexandria now during Bronctober.